Oh, hi, Diesel. What are you doing here? Isn't this Salty's job? I thought he was the dockside Diesel. Oh, hello, Sir Handel, and yes, you are indeed correct. I just was told to be here today. As of what I'm supposed to be doing, well, wait and see, is what I'm told. Wait and see, huh? So that's what they tell you now, Diesel. I guess that's the same boat I'm in, because the boat I'm waiting for is not here. Oh, that good-for-nothing Bulstrode. Very unreliable. Don't know why you'd wait for him. Besides, we've got something else taking his spot right now. Well, isn't that perfect? I have better things to do than wait around for Bulstrode the barge to get to the docks, so I can get on doing other fun jobs instead of waiting for a barge. Funny you mentioned that, Sir Handel, because I was just going to ask why an engine like you is doing a job like this on a gorgeous afternoon. You could be taking wonderful passenger trains, instead you're stuck here at the docks. Glad I'm not the only one that thinks that way. I should be taking passenger trains, not waiting here at the docks. Instead, these new controllers think Peter Sam is the engine who should be taking passenger trains. So right now he's going to get more passengers from the mainland. You're Sir Handel. You need to go to those new controllers and tell them what's up. An engine like you should be taking passenger trains every single day. They would enjoy the ride with you much more than that Peter Sam. Oh, I'm sure of it. Diesel, what are you still doing here at the docks? You know you have other jobs to do than sit around here and talk to whatever engines the narrow gauge railway sends to our docks. Oh, please, Oliver, why don't you mind your own business? Sir Handel and I were just catching up. It's been a while. You know how that is. You were almost scrapped. You went a long time without talking to anyone. So for me to catch up with Sir Handel shouldn't be a problem. It is when we're on the island of Sodor. There are always more jobs to do. Go talk to Sir Handel on your own time. Oh, I'd love to, Oliver, if your precious toad wasn't in my way. Oh, Mr. Diesel, you know that can be easily fixed. Oh, good riddance with you, Oliver. And you too, Toad. Sir Handel, it's been nice talking. We will have to catch up on our own time. Sir Handel, I don't know what you and Diesel were talking about, but don't listen to what he has to say. You should know by now that Diesel just likes stirring problems up for everyone else. I'm my own engine, Oliver, thank you very much. And I don't have time to sit around and wait for Bulstrode the barge to give the cargo cars the narrow gauge railway needs. Let somebody know when Bulstrode gets here. That way they can take away the cargo cars and not me. Well, well, well. Would you look at who finally decided to show up? I'm sorry, Emily, but you need to understand. The narrow gauge railway, we've been so busy, we barely have enough room for all the passengers. Everybody tries to rush and get a good spot, and man, if you're not up in front, you're probably standing, and in some cases you can't even make it on. Well, Peter Sam, that's a good problem to have. Today, I think I was only half full. It wasn't much better with Henrietta. You're probably not going to get too many passengers from our railway today, Peter Sam. Oh, don't worry about it, Toby and Daisy. I'm sure one of these days you'll have plenty of passengers. But actually today I have a very important passenger. Here, I'll let him introduce himself. Toby, Daisy, Emily. Thought I'd stop by and say hello to your railway. Well, Mr. Percival, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great, Emily. Our railway's booming right now. It's never been better. In the short time I've been one of the owners, we've seen sales increase like crazy. And passengers love traveling with me and the narrow gauge railway. Yes, indeed, Peter Sam. Our passengers know that when you're their engine, they will get a reliable train. Well, Percival, is there anything you need? Because I'm going to get going, and if you need a ride, I can give you one. Well, Daisy, I sure do appreciate that, but I only wanted to stop by and say hello. Is Sir Topham Hatt around? Well, Mr. Percival, I think he was around earlier, but at this point I have no clue where he went out to. Oh, that's a shame. I guess I'll just head back with Peter Sam. Peter Sam, are you and your passengers ready to go? Yes, indeed, Mr. Percival. We're just waiting for you now. Sounds like a plan, Peter Sam. Well, Topham's engines, it's been nice talking with you, and I'm sure I'll see you around. Goodbye, Mr. Percival. Oh, hello, other engines. Did Peter Sam just leave with some passengers? Yes, he did, Sir Handel. What seems to be the problem? See, I should be the one taking passengers. I'm a good engine to take passengers. Man, I need to talk to one of the owners. Well, Sir Handel, you just missed out. Mr. Percival was on Peter Sam's train. Great, if Percival was on the train. They must have been praising how great Peter Sam was. I'm sure you don't want to hear it, but you are correct, Sir Handel. Oh, of course I am. Mr. Percival must be in love with Peter Sam, just like all those passengers. I need to get going, though. I need to catch up to them. Well, Toby and Emily, I hate to leave your company, but I do need to get going, too. I'm sure there's something else I can do than sit around and talk at Knapford all day. Oh, same with me, Daisy. I'm sure we can find something better to do. It's funny how a little bit of success can go to a man's head. I mean, it's quite obvious with Mr. Percival that the only reason he came to visit the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway was to really just brag to Sir Topham Hatt about how well the narrow gauge railway has done since he gained control as owner. And then you look at his engines. Sir Handel's reverting back to his old ways and thinks he's the best thing on the narrow gauge railway. But what might be surprising is Peter Sam. Who would have thought he'd think he's the best thing on the narrow gauge railway, and that all the passengers love being with Peter Sam? But see, what separates me from the two engines that sat next to me at Knapford, I actually realize what's going on. I realize Sir Topham Hatt's done a pretty poor job since those three took over at the narrow gauge railway. Who knows? I think it's a matter of time until something happens.